is Maria. I'm with Prapatti Props. Today what I'd like to do is assist those of you who have really tight hips and possibly even a tight lower back. So what I want to offer you are a couple of alternatives to struggling and just kind of sitting up on a cushion and just having the weight of your legs pull on your hip joints, which inevitably actually makes your hips tighter. So we want to alleviate the weight of the legs on the hip joints so that the ligaments and muscle, everything around that joint can just simply soften and release. In order to do that, you've got to take the weight of your legs off the hip joint. So I'm going to offer you two methods in order to do so. So this is assuming that you actually can get yourself close enough to the earth, even if the legs are just slightly elevated, that we can just use a blanket to move the earth from the base of the earth up to the legs to alleviate the weight of the legs on the body. So, and if that's not the case, let's just say you're the extreme case, and when you sit on the earth without any support at all, your knees are really high, your shoulders are coming forward to try and hold you from going back, and your sacrum is moving in a backwards position. And even if you get yourself elevated, this still doesn't help you, then I'm going to offer you a little video clip to show you how to sit properly in a chair, and possibly through a little bit of effort, you might be able to find some comfort in the two methods that I'm about to offer you. Okay, so the first one is simple. You take a blanket, and I recommend a queen to king size blanket. Depending on how tight you are, will determine what size blanket is best. King size is best so that you want that excess blanket to be able to tuck underneath the legs and alleviate the weight of the body on the hip joints. So you're going to take the blanket and you're going to take it the widthwise. You're going to take the center portion of the blanket and you're going to place it on top of where the ankles meet, where they cross. So you're going to place the blanket here, and I like to actually tuck a little bit of the blanket between my shins so that it alleviates a little bit of the pressure. It just makes it that much more kind. So wrap that underneath, and then what you want to do is pull the excess amount of the blanket underneath the legs so that the weight of the legs is alleviating the hip joint. So then your spine can move into a natural, neutral, upright position, and you can move right into your practice. Okay, the second method. I recommend as well that you get to sitting on one of my cushions or whatever prop that you use in your practice. I offer 7 different heights in the Prapatti prop because our bodies are uniquely different in the way that, you know, whether our hips be tight and our back is open, or our back is tight and our hips are open. It really takes a little bit of time to assess what your body's needs are so that you can find yourself sitting at the right height to alleviate the weight of the lower extremities on your hip joint and spine. Okay, so I'm going to sit up on one of my cushions to bring my pelvic floor up so that I can allow the legs to begin to naturally move down. Like I said, Prapatti props come in 7 different heights. The tallest one that I offer is about 5 inches, and that's about as far as I go as far as height, because we don't want to get you too high because stability comes into play if you sit too high. So 5 inches is the tallest. If you find yourself on a 5-inch and you're still in this position, you're going to need to use the blanket method in order to support your lower extremities. The second option, I recommend that you take your blanket, because this one's smaller, I am going to actually place it in a diagonal fashion instead of folding it in half. And then what you want to do is you're going to get the center portion of that blanket and you're going to take it to the back. So it's folded over in half now. So you're going to take the center portion and place it right up against the sacrum. So that's that triangular piece at the base of your spine. So you want the blanket to be placed right in that so that you can pull it in, because you want to move the sacrum up and in. That helps the spine move to a more neutral, relaxed position, because if the sacrum's rolling back, your spine's going to be rolling back. So we've got to move that sacrum up and in. in order to get the spine to move to a natural relaxed position. So again, place the center of the blanket right at the sacrum, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the ends of the blanket forward. I'm going to move these out of the way. Okay, so we've got the ends of the blanket forward. My mission is to wrap this blanket around the knee in such a fashion that it helps to pull the sacrum up and in. So you're going to take the corner of the blanket, you're going to take it underneath the front leg, in between your hamstring and your calf muscle, and you're going to place that blanket in between and give it a good snug. You're going to a good tug. So you're going to want to pull this nice and tight while holding the other side of the blanket. Then release that portion of the leg to the earth, and you're going to do the same thing with the other side. So you're going to take the blanket and you're going to place your hand in between the calf muscle and the hamstring, and you're going to place that blanket in between that knee joint. Oh, by the way, if you have knee issues, this helps to alleviate some of the stress on the knee. So you might find some comfort in this. So place the blanket in between the knee and give it a nice good tug so that you can feel that you're pulling the leg bone into the hip joint. So the blanket is pulling the leg bone into the hip joint while simultaneously taking the sacrum up and in. So we've done two things here. We've alleviated some of the stress of the weight of the legs on the hip joint while simultaneously moving the sacrum up and in. Now I'm going to take the rest of the blanket that I have excess. If your knees are still pretty up, you're going to place the excess underneath the legs. So again, bring the earth up to meet your legs so that you can alleviate the weight of the legs on your hip joints. The mission here is not to struggle in meditation. It is to find a place where your spine is in a neutral, relaxed position so that you can just exhale and go right into the instructional aspects of your practice. I thank you today for viewing. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to email me at support@prapattiprops.com, or simply make comments in the comment section below, and I'll get to you as soon as I possibly can, because it is my mission to make sure that you are finding comfort in your meditative practices to encourage you to sit more. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Namaste.